This podcast is a Radio Mike original production. Head to radiomike.com.au to find out more. Alright guys, I know you like listening to Harry Potter and the Boys, but here's another suggestion for you. Would you want to watch it? Because you can do just that over on the Patreon. Patreon.com/Harry Potter and the Boys. Get full video versions. See me and Sam in action recording this podcast in my one-bedroom apartment in Richmond. It is great fun. Patreon.com/Harry Potter and the Boys. Sign up. We're an independent podcast and we can use all the help we can get, really. Any money is very, very helpful. Please consider it and watch the podcast. Pop it on the TV, make some dinner. Watch the pod. Watch me and Sam. We love it. You'll love it. Patreon.com/Harry Potter and the Boys. See you there. 50 years after the final Harry Potter book, Harry Potter is now headmaster of Hogwarts, ready to usher in a brand new generation of witches and wizards. My name's Radio Mike, and I love Harry Potter. In fact, I love Harry Potter so much that when I was a kid, I wrote a series of 7 Harry Potter fan fiction novels. This is book 3 in that series. Welcome to Harry Potter and the Commentors from Azkaban. Everyone, welcome to Harry Potter and the Boys, a fan fiction podcast by me, Radio Mike, Book 3, Harry Potter and the Commentors from Azkaban. Telegram Sam is here. G'day, Telegram Sam.
Did you think of that ahead of time?
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to call
Radio
Sam
Mike
Telegram.
And Telegram Sam. I don't love that I've been put further into the past with technology.
Yeah.
Updates.
Does Telegram predate radio? You'd think it definitely would, but it could surprise you.
Because Telegram, honestly, is a Telegram, just bear with me, what is it?
It's just Morse code
That's what
beeped out, isn't it?
Is it someone beeps out Morse code and then someone else has to
decode
it and then give it to you?
And then someone was like, oh, why don't we just talk? And Alexander Graham Bell was like, telephone.
And we thank Alexander Graham Bell. On my old podcast with Tim McDonald, we used to thank Alexander Graham Bell at the start of every podcast.
Did you really?
Yeah, without whom audio medium would not be possible.
What a downgrade. You used to do a podcast with Tim McDonald, who's like on billboards on Chapel Street, and now you're Telegram Sam doing a Harry Potter podcast with Radio Mike.
No, I'd say I have not gone down. It's sideways, if anything.
Yeah, it's a big sideways.
Yeah.
Tim's gone up. You've just
That's
gone
it.
sideways.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't gone down.
Yeah. But the Telegram is funny because obviously telly means far away. Gram means written.
That wasn't obvious to me.
You didn't know that?
No.
Well, think about it. Telephone, telly, far away. Phone, sound, far away sound. Television. Telly, far away. Vision, vision.
I get that
far
logic.
away vision.
That logically makes sense, but you haven't gone. Think about telly. That doesn't.
No, it's not obvious, is it? But once you know, you know.
Once you know, you know.
Telecommunication, telly, far away. Communication,
is it?
Communication.
Because you could be close. I could telephone you from next door or in the same room.
Yeah, but it's like you're still far away as far as telly's concerned.
I'm not sure if you can telly, but I'm hating this conversation.
Okay, Sam's very run down because he's been working really hard in his real job. So we're just trying to do an easy episode for him.
Just one more thing on telegrams though. But is it, I think at weddings, they still do, if someone's absent and can't make a wedding, there's a bit of there's a telegram. You can sometimes I've emceed a few weddings and I'm asked to read out. And I think they call them telegrams, even though they're not.
Wait, what? David's away. He couldn't make the wedding.
Yeah, and then
telegram.
You have to. You don't act it out. You don't act it out like ring a ding ding. There's a telegram.
So they leave a note. Is that what you mean? And you
they
read
even
the
just.
note.
I've had the bride and groom or family or someone will send, hey, this is a note from Davo. He's their brother and couldn't make it. And the MC has to read it on their behalf sometimes.
Oh, okay.
But they call it a telegram.
What's a telegraph? Telegraph, like the Daily Telegraph. and also,
Well, Mike,
what's
telly meaning far away, graph meaning graph.
Well, then that brings me to my next question. What's a Teletubby?
Well, they are tubby creatures in a faraway land.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's why they're called that. Anyway,
Wow.
if you can't telly, I want to move on. No, you already did that joke. Okay, let's move on from that. Hey, I put this tweet out on Twitter.
Yeah.
And it was hey everyone, let's make a list of Harry Potter. Let's make a list of real people who sound like Harry Potter characters.
Love it.
I started with Greta Gerwig.
Totally.
Greta Gerwig is the most Harry Potter sounding person in real life.
I saw this tweet and I thought, that's one of your best tweets.
Do you reckon?
That's just a very thought-provoking...
Really makes you think.
Yeah, and I'm just like, that's great. And you picked the perfect person, Greta Gerwig. That sounds... She does sound like a Harry Potter character.
Had a few submissions from followers on Twitter.
Because I'm trying to think of some.
Yeah, well, someone sent in a whopper, and I got to say I agree. Engelbert Humperdinck. The old crooner.
Yes, very good.
He'd work at the Ministry.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Engelbert
gotta get this over.
Humperdinck. Department of Mysteries, Ministry of Magic. Cornelius Fudge, where are you?
Is this from Humperdinck's office? Yes. Yes, Minister. Yeah, totally. That's a really good one.
Have you got any, or should I keep reading?
I don't have many.
Had another one from friend of the show, Dave Lee. Benedict Cumberbatch.
That's a good one.
He'd be a potions master, Professor Cumberbatch.
Yeah. He seems like a bit of a... He's on the same lines of Newt Scamander.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Like, it's almost like a name that sounds made up. Had a few more.
No, I was going to say Steven Spielberg. That's not quite right.
Spielberg's a bit too American.
Yeah.
Someone actually sent in Millie Bobby Brown, but I was like, nah, Bobby is way too American.
Yeah. The thing is that usually some of them are based on... It feels like they're based on just like, stereotypes, like Seamus Finnegan.
Yeah, true. Florence Pugh.
Yeah, that's a good one as well.
Florence Pugh would be like a Hufflepuff student. That's a very Hogwartian name.
Who are these people coming through the goods here?
Someone on Twitter actually said Jack Post. Do you reckon Jack Post would be a Hogwarts name? Maybe
Jack just doesn't seem.
Maybe they're thinking of Owl Post. Just generally.
That doesn't make it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael Liberali. No.
Sam Garlep.
No.
But do you have a Hogwarts name? I actually think Amy, official correspondent of the show, Amy Altamat.
That's really good.
That could easily be a Hogwarts name.
So there's a lot of alliteration. I'm feeling if you've got alliteration.
Yeah. Like
Amelia Earhart.
Freddie got fingered. It's one of those shows, guy.
We both went for different vibes there, didn't we?
Earhart, yeah, I agree.
Can I look up celebrities with
alliteration names? Yeah. Hey, did you know on that topic, there's a character in Harry Potter called Derek? Someone sent it in.
Really?
Once. Yeah. Oh. There's a Derek in Harry Potter. Like,
who are they?
Just like one mention.
Do you think that
there's a baby outside crying? Baby Babington.
What if they've left them in a basket outside your door? So dim. Oh my god! It could be the next Harry Potter.
Could be, yeah. That's why I knew you were going.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
I didn't know what you.
What about this one? Emilio Estevez.
Estevez, too Spanish.
No, but that's
he'd be at the Spanish Hogwarts.
No, but that is Spanwarts. But that would be, I think, if J.K. wrote a Spanish character, it would be something as
Emilio
Estevez.
Yeah, or like Juan.
Yes.
De la Cruz.
Yeah. Juan Tequila.
Yeah.
I think that's Mexican.
And his brother, Two Tequila.
Marilyn Monroe.
Too American.
Yeah. Doris Day.
Doris Day, I feel like could be.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, there's not many.
Well, there you go. I also had one more tidbit before we get into the double F, because the double F is heating up. Been reading, still in the Harry Potter Goblet of Fire audiobook. And first of all, there's a big moment in that book where Rita Skeeter writes an article about where she reveals that Hagrid is half giant. And everybody, including Harry, Ron, and Hermione, are like, what? Hagrid's half giant? I never would have known. But like, for some reason, I always thought everyone knew Hagrid was half giant because he was so big.
Well, same.
In the books, clearly, like, I misremembered that because everyone's like, oh, I did not know that about Hagrid.
Well, I guess because it seems so obvious because he's outrageously large.
Yeah, he's constantly described as a giant man, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't think, oh, that's just a normal human.
Yeah.
But I do remember that raising questions of the I guess the breeding.
Well, that's what I was going to get to because
I thought you might.
we all know Hagrid is half giant, but what is
Which
that?
half?
But what does that mean? So his dad was a normal size wizard and his mum was a giant. Like,
Yeah.
how does that occur? We all know how it occurs, but how does it occur?
Oh.
Is he climbing up there? Because you'd think Hagrid's dad would only come up to like her knee. And
Even that's a high.
Yeah.
No, sorry. But come up to it anyway.
But
That's
wouldn't
high
she? Don't you reckon she would like even feel it? Would she even feel it?
Sure.
Maybe it's like being fingered, like Freddy.
Like Freddy. I like to think that Hagrid's dad, who was named,
I don't know.
we don't know, Harry Hagrid. I would like to think that Mrs. Hagrid would, just lie down in a field.
Yeah.
You probably have to. And she would just ready herself, and then maybe in the field, like Mr. Hagrid, Harry Hagrid, had set up maybe some kind of diving board, and he just kind of dives right in, full body.
As in, he goes in full body.
Yeah, why not?
But how would? But that wouldn't stimulate, or is he just ready to?
Wouldn't
pop?
it?
Is he just?
Wouldn't it?
I don't know. Would it?
Him full body in there, swishing
That
around.
wouldn't stimulate him.
I think swishing around is probably how everyone loves it.
Oh man, I don't know how it would work. I think doesn't really make sense. Why are there all these half giants?
Or maybe he just has maybe she was a particularly small giant. She could be a short giant. He could be a tall man.
True.
And a well endowed man.
There are some people in real life that you would see and be like, "Wow, you are so tall. You're a giant."
Yeah.
So maybe that's what they meant. She wasn't an actual giant. She was just a tall woman.
Nah, she was.
She was a real giant.
She was a tall woman. Yeah. What's Madame Maxine?
She's half giant because she gets offended because Hagrid's like, "Oh, I've never met another half giant." She's like, "I am not a half giant, Hagrid."
Oh,
was that a good Madame Maxine?
That was very good.
Yeah,
it was good French.
Yeah, it was a good French impression.
Yeah, that is good. That's okay. I think it checks out.
Yeah. Well, let's get on to the double F.
Yeah.
It's been a wild ride, and I think last chapter was called Just One More Thing Before We Get into Hogwarts. And I guess that means this chapter we do show up at Hogwarts.
What about, I'm back to names, Robert Redford?
Definitely.
Tina Turner?
What about Ray Romano?
Ray Romano.
I love a bit of Ray Romano.
Yeah, that's a Harry Potter name.
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn.
What would an Italian, like, if J.K. Rowling had an Italian character, would it be like, it's a pasta?
Yeah, he'll be. Pitti Pizza.
It's
or Piero.
It's olive pizza. Yeah. All right.
Although there is one here. It could be Federico Fellini.
Oh, there you go. Jennifer Goodwin.
I don't.
Courtney Cox.
Hugh Hefner. Oh,
Hugh Hefner.
Steer clear of him.
Hey,
although he did live in a big mansion, castle.
At the end of the last chapter,
different things went on.
The boys saw Mr. Chargér entering a store called Horseshoe Potatoes Wigs and Disguises for the Magical Villain or Villainess, owned by Horseshoe Potato.
Yes.
And we pick up in chapter 11, Sam Garlip, custodian of the laptop. And as always, we start this podcast by reading the title of the chapter or some shit. So Sam, if you care, please kick us off for this week with the title of this week's chapter.
You shouldn't start with "if I care."
Please.
at this point.
Sam, if you please.
Please, to carry on, and coincidentally, what you were just speaking, like, because as we kick off the title of the chapter, chapter 11, Monsieur Chargér.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess this does kind of directly follow up the last chapter. Like he's wigs and disguises.
Ah.
Well, anyway, we don't know. We don't know. So we'll pick it up.
It'll just be a little mustache then.
French moustache.
Mate, does it come with a baguette as well, or beret?
Some frog's legs.
Just a mime outfit. He's just dressed as a mime.
I'm going to France.
Oh,
Yeah. In about 55 days.
The day countdown is. Why do you know how many days?
Because I cannot wait to leave this shithole Melbourne. Nah, I love Melbourne. Love you, Melbourne.
Live, laugh, love Melbourne.
Yeah, that's our slogan.
Yeah. I thought our slogan was.
The place to be.
Yeah. Oh no, I meant our slogan. You and I.
Oh, what is our slogan?
I don't know.
Two great mates doing a pod.
Two great mates doing a pod. All right.
Here we go. Chapter 11, Monsieur Chargér.
All right. So the boys did all their stuff in Diagon Alley, jumped on the Hogwarts Express, and honestly, nothing in particular interesting happened in that time. I'll quickly sum up anything remote of note that happened while they were on the train. Okay. Did we actually end at platform 9 3/4?
No, we were at Diagon Alley.
Oh, we ended it with, and that's what I call jazz.
Oh,
That's our slogan.
Yeah, that's our slogan, yeah.
Okay, so this is just dot points of what happened on the train.
Cool.
Okay, first, Dragon Mailboy actually pooed his pants, and now everyone calls him Poogon Poo Boy. Poogon Poo Boy.
Poogan Poo Boy. That's nice.
That's funny.
Lord, that sounds like a big thing that happened. Why do we have to miss that?
And the thing is, this happened a lot throughout my high school and my life, is that if you get a group of juvenile people, they don't even have to be juveniles or adolescents, if something small happens and you can make a nickname out of it, it'll stick.
I still remember on year 6 camp, I think, and I'm not going to say their name, but someone pooed their pants in the tent.
Yeah.
Let's say their name was, I'm just going to make one up. This is not the real name. Let's say it was James, because it has to be one syllable.
Oh yeah, I've got him on Instagram. No,
What?
just joking.
And then everyone, because James pooed his pants on camp,
Yeah.
everyone just, I don't know where it came from, everyone just started singing, James smells. And then for the rest of the year, every time someone saw James, they'd be like, James smells.
So is that to the tune of anything? Or that's
That was the tune. It was actually better because the person's name started with S. So let's say it was Sam. It was but it does roll on better. It was like, Sam smells, and everyone would sing it.
I know, but I'm just trying to think of, there's not, how many one-syllable male names that start with S are there?
Well, it's not Sam.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you poo your pants on camp,
That's okay.
you're going to get a nickname and it's going to follow you around like a bad smell. Bad smells lead to bad smells.
But do you think the better thing is to own it or hate it?
You got to own it.
I think you got to own it.
You have to own it.
Because I think
I shut my pants.
Because I think the thing is, it'll stick more
if you don't like it.
don't like it. It will still stick even if you try to own it.
Yeah.
And people will say, no, you can't try to own it. But I think that still, you have a bit more, you have less chance. It'll fade quicker.
If you love it, it won't be as fun for people.
Yeah, because we had one as well. And I won't say this guy's actual name.
Do I know this one?
I don't know, probably.
Ah.
And this was like in year 9 or something like that. And we were at sport and wasn't wearing shoes and we were waiting for something. And he nearly, but maybe slightly, his foot just about touched dog shit.
Ah. Dog shit Dave.
No, we just called him Shitfoot.
Even better.
And even though there was only like 10 of us there, it spread to
school.
the entire year level whole thing. And then I think that did kind of traumatize him.
I still remember.
So I hope you're okay. And I'm sorry.
I
am
remember
sorry.
in year 9 at our
funny name,
school. Yeah, that's Shitfoot's great. It's like Littlefoot from Land Before
I actually just
Time.
spoke to someone else from a different school, and they said they had the exact same thing happen to someone at their school, and they called him something that's like just it wasn't. It was like poo foot or something.
Poo foot, yeah.
And I was like,
Every
that's
school
so
has one.
Similar. Yeah, anyway.
I still remember it's like something you do like in year 9 at our school there were like 2 excursions, one for geography and like one for history. If you were doing history, you went to Sovereign Hill, which was like is in Ballarat where all the goldfields were in Victoria before, anyway.
Yeah.
If you were doing geography, you went to Phillip Island, right? And one guy, good friend of mine who I used to live with, Daniel Cookerins,
Good guy.
he got on the bus that was going to Phillip Island, but he was supposed to be in Sovereign Hill. Like, he didn't do geography. You did one or the other. He went to Phillip Island.
That's amazing.
And so, or something like that. And then when we got to Phillip Island, the teacher was doing the roll.
Yeah.
And it's like, is there anyone whose name I didn't call out? And Cookerins just goes, oh, yeah, me. It's like, what are you doing on this bus? And then someone else just goes, wrong bus, Cookerins. And then like stuck with him till year 12. Every time you saw him, someone would be like, wrong bus, Cookerins. And he hated it. Absolutely hated it.
Was it you? It sounds like something you'd say.
No, I was friends with him, but he hated wrong bus, Cookerins, but it stuck.
People go, wrong bus, Cookerins.
Yeah.
After an old
3 years later, wrong bus,
He
Cookerins.
is very funny, and I hope he's not listening so that next time I see him,
Just be like, wrong bus, Cookerins.
which would just traumatize him.
So what else happened on the train set?
Anyway,
No, say what?
I was going to say, it's, I feel like in like grade 1 or 2, someone was like, oh, garlic, sounds like garlic.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't really stick. And then I remember at footy, at my local footy club, like years ago, we were talking about nicknames. I'm like, oh, you never really had one. I'm like, oh, like the most obvious, like one that is not even funny. It's like grade 2. I was like, I think they might have said garlic or something.
Yeah.
One of the lads from footy just goes, oh, garlic. I'm like, yeah, but like, it's not even that funny. And then like he and a bunch of others like just call me garlic forever.
Really?
Yeah.
It's stuff.
Which actually I actually don't mind that.
Yeah, garlic's fine.
I love garlic.
Garlic bread,
Yeah.
garlic.
And then
onion.
I did lean in because to our end of year function, I came as a giant thing of garlic bread.
There you go.
So you lean in and
You
then
lean in, it
and then
disappears.
it disappears.
Lean in, lean out.
all right. Dot point number 2 of what happened on the train.
Still on
They're
page
all
one.
gonna go for that long. Guys, we're sorry. And
Sorry,
yet-
guys.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah. Okay. Dot point number 2 of what happened on the train. Neville was on the train, and when they asked why Neville on the train, and when they asked why, he said he lost his license for drink driving.
So Neville's driving to Hogwarts. Usually, but he's lost his license.
So he had to catch the train with all the kids.
Wow.
Okay.
It never explains why Professor Lupin's on the train with the kids. Maybe he lost his license for drink driving.
Yeah, that's true. Well, maybe he was passed out.
Yeah.
And, he was asleep apparently.
Yeah.
That is true. How did the teacher? Anyway, whatever.
Like it's weird. It would be weird if there was like a school bus taking everyone to school and you get on and one of your teachers is just asleep on the bus.
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
feel
funny.
like we look over how
Yeah.
absurd that
Yeah.
was.
Especially like it's his first year teaching.
Yeah. What
He's not getting there early to plan some classes.
That's actually a good point. Like Professor Lupin's just asleep on the train and none of the students go to Dumbledore. Hey, who is this guy? It's his first year. He's asleep on the train. What is he doing?
Yeah, or any of the other teachers are like, why did we have to show up like a week early to plan all our classes? And
Yeah.
plan the dinner.
He just gets to come in on the train with the rest of the kids. Jesus.
Gosh.
All right, dot point 3.
2 of the 7th years had a threesome, but they closed the curtain so no one could see.
So 2 of them had a threesome.
Oh yeah.
Who was the third? But who was the third?
I don't know, but then also you spelled threesome with the number 3, then SEM in one word. Yeah.
Wow, it's crazy.
2 of the 7th years had a threesome.
2 of the 7.
So is that a joke?
Well, maybe 1 of the 6 years.
Or do you think that you didn't know what a threesome was?
I must have known what a threesome was.
It's in the name.
Yeah.
It's like telly.
3, sem. 3 is 3. Sem is sem. Seminate.
Yeah.
Inseminate.
Inseminate.
3 people inseminating. Well, that'd actually be a foursome.
Maybe you thought it was a 3 semen.
Yeah.
So 2 7th years had got 3 semens out.
Yeah. Which,
Yeah.
good on them. When you're that young, you probably can't do that much.
And the 4th and most exciting dot point, a redhead kid said he had ginger pubs.
Ginger pubes.
Yeah, it's meant to
Funny.
be pubes, but you didn't put an E there.
Ginger pubs. Probably didn't know there was
And
an E.
like, you know, everyone, that's probably obvious. Everyone
Yeah.
does the carpet match
Yeah.
the drapes.
Yeah. You know, do your pubes go grey when you get older?
I believe so.
Oh.
It'd be weird. Well, but then think of a really old man.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be weird if it didn't match your hair,
That's true.
wouldn't it?
It would, yeah.
Oh.
I just would have thought, you know, how are they going grey? They're never even seeing the light, you know?
Yeah, but that
It's not to do with light. It's to do with the aging.
process.
Yeah. Bloody aging.
Gradually
All right.
rotting until you die.
Mm.
Anyway, and actually, that was the next word. Anyway, when they all got off the train, Hagrid was there to greet the first years. But because the boys were friendly with Hagrid in the first place, they went to say hi to him.
Okay.
Oh, okay, because they're not first
So
years.
so they know. Yeah, cool.
Hi, Hagrid, the boys all said. You better go to potions now, Hagrid responded.
That's a
Classic.
classic.
That is a
That's
classic.
from book one.
Yeah. And if
Book
it's your
one.
first time joining us, he says that a lot.
Is a copy paste gag.
The school year hasn't started yet, Hagrid. We just got here, Tom said. Jordan Borden, horseshoe potato, said Hagrid.
Why'd you do an Irish accent there?
I don't know. I got potato and then I went Irish.
Yeah.
Can you do it?
I read as like, so it's like the school year, like Hagrid's getting confused and anxious. It's like,
Yeah.
the school year hasn't started, Hagrid. We just got here. Jordan Borden, horseshoe potato. That's how I'd read it.
Do you really think that your potato was better than my potato?
Horseshoe potato. Yeah.
Even though I did
You went
Irish.
horseshoe potato.
Yeah, but potato.
Horseshoe potato. It's almost like a.
You're doing like, forget about it. Potato.
That's how I read it.
Horseshoe potato.
No, it's like he's just struggling. Words are coming to it. But that is interesting because remember Jordan
should've said
Borden,
that.
we found out a few chapters ago,
Yeah.
was murdered by
Horseshoe potato. No, I can't do it.
horseshoe potato. That's it. It's potato. Horseshoe potato.
Okay.
So is Hagrid giving a foreboding message? But
I think before we move on, we do need to acknowledge to the listeners that we know that none of those were very good impressions.
someone send one in. Send in your version of
Oh, I
Hagrid
think
saying-
mine was great.
I think I disagree.
Hagrid has spent a lot of time in Ireland since the last
He
50
did a
years.
pilgrimage.
Him and Seamus Finnegan actually lived together for a long
Yeah,
time
they were housemates.
before he died. Last, okay. Shut the fuck, said Michael, who slapped Hagrid across the face.
Wow, it's a bit brutal.
Yeah, that is brutal.
Yeah.
And he's a teacher and their friend. They wandered into the
Well,
great.
they're not friends. They haven't had a single like proper conversation with Hagrid.
I know, but they seem to have an affinity for Hagrid.
Yeah, they still like
Yeah,
him.
they still like him, I guess. They wandered into the great hall, which filled up with the seats filled with students. just the syntax is just so off. Students from Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw filled up the seats. And of course, Dimmy and Derek on a little table at the back of the hall for Expelled House. As they were walking in, Professor O'Leary was standing up the front saying, "Fill up from the front, please." Oh, I can't do it.
Professor O'Leary is
He's
an
Irish.
Is he the
Stand up,
Muggle studies
fill up
teacher?
from the front, please. Fill up all the seats. Why is that worse than my Hagrid?
Fill up from the front, please. Fill up all the
Fill up all
seats.
fill up all the seats.
Fill up all the seats. Great to see Professor O'Leary back.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Okay. There were all the staff there, and there was a general look of concern or worry around them for reasons we don't know about yet. There was Hermione Granger, the Transfiguration Professor, Professor O'Leary, Professor Flitwick Jr., in brackets, the school bastard who many suspected was Hermione's son. They were actually organising a DNA test for tomorrow.
I do love the idea that Hermione is, if she is the biological mother, she's like ashamed of it.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I fucked Flitwick once and I fucking got pregnant.
Yeah. And can we actually also acknowledge without, I mean, I'm kind of skipping over Flitwick and Hermione hooking up. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But can we then also
that's similar to, it's almost like
it's actually
Hagrid
it's like leveling up.
yeah.
It's Hagrid with
The giant. Hagrid's dad.
Hagrid's dad with the giant giant woman.
Yeah.
I mean, to Flitwick, Hermione's a giant.
That's true.
And
Is it the same ratio though?
Probably not.
Yeah. But can I also just something else that I just thought of is generally just with the way things work, when you're doing a DNA test, you're not often DNA testing the mother. Usually it's obvious because it comes out of the mum.
Yes, but she probably gave him away, and
So you're saying Hermione kept it a secret, but people are now onto it and are trying to expose her, so she has to pay like.
Yeah, I'm imagining that when she got pregnant, she was away somewhere. She had the Flitwick Jr. said to Flitwick, "He's yours. I'm not taking this little."
But that's that doesn't often happen. I mean, it probably does happen, but it's rarer for the mother of someone to be ambiguous. Like most of the time, you're DNA testing a dad.
Yes,
to find out if they're the father. Because it would be weird if Hermione was commissioning the DNA test, being like, I just don't know if I'm the mother.
She wouldn't be. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, she wouldn't have commissioned this test.
Which then suggests that there's like a conspiracy undertone to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, we might not get into that.
There's so many situations where DNA tests are called for that we probably can't go through all of them. Yeah. But we've attempted it.
Oh, God.
Okay. Continuing to list the staff, Professor Longbottom for herbology, and even Cheeseman Damo, the school HR.
I'm so glad he's back.
Also, Harry Potter. Also, Harry Potter was nowhere to be seen at this stage.
Okay.
And the sorting ceremony began without him being present. Everyone looked confused because Harry was always present for the sorting as the headmaster.
That's weird. Not really, though. Harry in this book... expect anything.
Yeah. Expect the unexpected.
Yeah, that's a better way of
putting it. And that's our motto. Besides...
and that's what I call jazz.
And that's what I call jazz.
And that is what I call jazz, when you're jazzing something up with a different motto. Harry Potter and the boys will unfortunately be right back. Excuse this interruption, teachers and students. Just a reminder that Derek is a disgrace to all wizards. And just a reminder that if you like listening to me or you hate listening to me, I do another podcast called 20th Century Boy. It's out every Thursday, and it's the conversations you wish you were having about the stuff that nobody else cares about. This week, we talked all about the writers' strike going on in Hollywood, amongst other stuff as well. Get involved in the conversation, 20th Century Boy, the conversations you wish you were having about the stuff that no one else cares about, wherever you podcast. And also, if you're listening on Spotify to this, rate us 5 stars. Come on, do it. All right, anyway, back to the show.
Suddenly, the song from The Lion King that goes, started playing.
That song started playing.
Yes,
okay, over the hi-fi system. Yeah. Remember the Chamber of Secrets had a hi-fi system where they were playing the Black Eyed Peas? Yes.
So that started playing. The lights from the Great Hall went off and disco lights started shining through. Everyone was amazed by what they were seeing, even Hagrid, who had a seizure and fell over, killing Lavender Brown, the divination professor. No harm done.
No harm done.
Wow. So that's how Lavender Brown goes out.
Yeah. So we've lost Ron. Yeah. We've lost Seamus. Lavender's out.
Who's probably still pining over Ron.
She's still, yeah.
But, I mean, think about all that Lavender Brown's gone through.
Yeah. Didn't she die in... I think she dies in the actual Harry Potter book. Doesn't she get bitten by the werewolf and he kills her?
Yeah, in the 7th.
Is that in the book or just the movie?
Maybe both.
Yeah. Well, she was back for a bit. She got to come back.
Maybe she is a werewolf.
Well, she's dead now. It honestly doesn't matter.
Yeah, but maybe that just to make it so it could be canon. This book could be canon.
Good idea. Yeah, good idea.
But there's no harm done. Anyway, the doors began to open and Harry Potter appeared, dressed in disco gear and on rollerblades.
This is very Mr. G. This feels Mr. G.
Mr. G, but I'm also then thinking like Disco Stew. Yeah. Because then does he actually have roller skates on one foot?
Maybe it is just Disco Stew. Because he wears disco gear.
Yeah.
And I think he does sometimes have rollerblades.
Yeah. All of a sudden, the Lion King music changed to loud basketball stadium music.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah. Dun, dun, dun. The Hog's Breath Cafe theme song. Hog's Breath Cafe?
What's that?
You don't know what Hog's Breath Cafe is?
No.
It's a
That sounds like something in Hogsmeade.
It does, but no, it's like a restaurant chain in Australia.
I've never heard of it. Hog's Breath Cafe.
Hog's Breath Cafe.
Where is one?
Like Holmes Glen, probably.
Where is Holmes Glen?
Near
Is there
Chadstone.
one near us, like near Richmond
No,
or
'cause
the city?
It's like as if you go to Hog's Breath Cafe. It's like
Oh, okay.
I feel like they have like oh my god. Okay, well
I've never been there.
no,
I've never heard of it. I thought you were making a Harry Potter reference.
no. It
And why is that the theme song?
they've got ads. Oh my god.
What?
Yeah.
I've never seen an ad for
Oh
it.
my god. Yes, people. Whoever's writing in, just tell Mike that he's wrong. And it's
Send a Hog's Breath emoji.
Yeah.
A pig emoji. Okay. So
Okay.
Harry's
So
basketball music has started.
change to loud basketball setting music, and several topless male strippers in basketball shorts roller skated in behind Harry.
So Harry's organised this like extraordinary entrance.
And
to the-
now, welcome, Harry Potter.
Rollerblading. Hey kids, how are ya?
Yeah, and-
Welcome.
Actually, and the intro would be like, the boy who lived.
Yeah. He defeated Voldemort, head of Given Head, Hogwarts.
Head of given head. Not one, not two, but 7 Horcruxes defeated.
It's Harry Potter!
Anyway, so roller skating behind doing dance routines and throwing basketballs at each other. Harry was roller skating his way down the Great Hall with his hand out, offering high fives to students. High five, guys! High five! High five for school! Yeah, school's back! No one was high fiving him at all.
Yeah, school's back, guys.
School's back.
Give me five.
High five for school.
High five. School's back.
School 5. High school. No? Okay.
High five, high school.
No one was high-fiving at all. When Harry reached the front of the hall, he said, "Music off, please, Hagrid. I shouldn't have to tell you twice."
So Harry's before the show, before the thing's
yeah.
So Hagrid, so I'll come in,
Yeah.
but first play Lion King, then I'll come in and play the basketball song. Once I hit the front, cut the music. Okay.
You better go to portion size.
And then Hagrid's forgotten. He's like, Hagrid, I shouldn't have to tell you twice, mate. It's part of your contract.
That really reminded me of you talking to Pat before the Harry Potter live show.
Really?
So Pat, just make sure you do that and don't fuck it up and like don't. No, you didn't say that. You didn't say that. But yeah, that's gonna be loud.
Do you think Pat got a bit trigger happy on the sound effects that night? Like, because Pat was like, oh, if something like funny happens, I'll play like the playoff sound.
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Dude, the
Which
outro music
is funny.
Which is funny. He did it once. It was great. It got a really big response. People loved it. Did it again. Was still good.
I think it was still good.
But I think he did it maybe 3 to 4 more times.
Yeah.
And it was a diminishing return.
But I think it was great. The only thing that annoyed me was that the one time I cued him to do it, he didn't do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, like you said, Pat, play the thing.
I was like, because I think there was one that I'd said, just, play it then. And I was like,
That's a great point.
he was like on his phone or something.
Yeah, we're planning another live show, by the way. When
Yeah.
we say planning, I mean, I said to Sam, hey, do you think we should do another live show?
This is basically the planning meeting right
And
now.
Sam said, yeah.
Yeah.
So probably end of the year when I'm back from Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're going to do it. Let's do it when Mike's away. All right.
Okay, high five, guys.
Yep.
School's back.
Music off, please, Hagrid. I shouldn't have to tell you twice. But Hagrid was still mourning the loss of Professor Brown.
Yeah, he's probably just started mourning.
well,
It's just up.
Well, if you're crying, you shouldn't have killed her in the first place.
That's true.
Hagrid approached the lectern and started a high
Yeah,
energy.
Harry.
I think I said. I did not.
You said Hagrid.
No, I didn't.
Well, we've got the tape. People can figure out for themselves.
Play it back.
No, I'm not doing that. Just rewind it if you want to know the truth.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, listeners, play it back.
Yeah. I'm not cutting in a grab.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I will.
You probably won't.
I won't. You know what? I will. Here it is.
So I was right. Wrong.
Yeah, I'll cut one in.
You still won't. Harry approached the lectern and started a high energy speech. All right, Hogwarts, make some noise if you can hear me.
This sounds like you
I
before
know.
the 100 with
Yes,
Andy
I was
Lee.
triggered.
Hey guys, we're going to do some warm-ups. So if I say something funny, I want you guys to laugh. Here we
Laugh
go.
extra loud.
Yeah, make sure you laugh 10% extra.
Do you know last week the warm-up person called in sick?
Yeah, you told me. And who ended up doing it?
Another Melbourne comedian.
Is it the normal guy that would do it?
No. Oh, no, it was Lauren Bock, who's very funny. I wasn't there, but
I don't know, Lauren.
oh, well, I do, and she's great and funny, and I heard she was great. I wasn't there on the day.
Cool.
But I was glad to.
You had another job.
Well, I had another job, and I didn't want to do it.
Yeah, fair enough.
To be fair, the students low-key applauded, but didn't make much noise. Yeah, Farah, this is triggering. You can do better than that. Make some noise if you can hear me, Hogwarts. Harry said while doing the splits in his rollerblades and doing a Michael Jackson hee Shamona.
So that's carrying across.
That is good.
Since last book.
That is good. Everyone yelled and cheered and were really happy. We're here for a good time. Everyone come to this school this year for a good time, said Harry.
It does feel like Harry is overcorrecting for all the deaths and murders and things that have happened to the students over the years. So he's like, hey, this year's going to be great, guys. Meanwhile, Lavender Brown's just been,
I was about to say,
can only assume, crushed to death
Yeah, she's
by
still, her
Hagrid.
body is still there. It's not even cold. She's not even cold.
Jeez, man,
We're having a
Damo's
good
not
time.
even doing it yet. Yeah,
That's
who's
true.
Who's having a good time? Make some noise, Hogwarts!
Damo's filling out paperwork, you know. Everyone,
Hagrid's still mourning. Oh, Professor Brown.
she's completely squished into some kind of mud.
Contortion.
Yeah. Everyone continued to laugh and cheer, and we're having a really good time, even the boys, thinking maybe this year might be better than the last, and Hogwarts might finally be changing its tune. Harry looked annoyed at the basketball strippers. Basketball dancers, you need to be out. I told you to be the hell. Oh, sorry, I just improv there. I told you.
This is very Mr. G. Sorry, go.
Told you. Oh yeah, basketball dancers, you need to be out. I told you to be out of the hall once I reach the lectern. We'll be deducting your pay for that.
So in obviously Summer Heights High, which we've talked about,
Yes.
lots of just like Mr. G, like he's doing a school musical, and I just love this bit where, you know, all the kids are just dancing on the stage in rehearsals, and Mr. G
Yes.
just is like goes up to one of them, just like, you realize you look like a moron on stage.
That'll motivate them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so the basketball dancers.
The basketball strippers all left the hall. All right, settle down. And before we start, we acknowledge the tradition custodians of this land, the Wurundjeri people, Harry said. And everyone looked confused because the Wurundjeri people are the traditional custodians of the land here in Melbourne, Victoria.
Yeah. And actually, what I think that's actually another Summer Heights High reference. Because it's when Jemay, the high school girl, comes to Summer Heights High and is like, thanks, principal, whatever. And we acknowledge the traditional custodians, the Wurundjeri people. And I think I've just copied that.
Yeah.
Because basically in Australia, you would do a acknowledgement of country before like a speech or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, and I've just copied
And
that
you just put one in.
made a joke out of it. Because at our school assemblies, they used to say that at the
Yeah.
start of the assembly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I think there's that.
it's totally normal and great. It's funny. The funniness here is that you've done it at Hogwarts, which
Which
is
you wouldn't do.
in the UK.
And Harry would not do it.
Yes.
But anyway.
First things first, we have some announcements to make about the school. Some of you may have heard there was a breakout of Azkaban prison. Now, a few people of the ministry seem to think that the escaped prisoners, as well as those who helped the escape, may or may not be trying to kill me. Don't you worry, your headmaster is safe, said Harry, flexing his muscles and revealing his penis from behind his robe. So, a couple of these ones, and then just like,
Whoops.
so it's all still there.
Everything's still
Well,
functioning.
maybe he's showing that Kim Jiri hasn't got there and chopped it off.
That's true.
Maybe, see?
And maybe he's Professor Flitwick Jr.'s dad.
That's true.
Maybe he slept with Professor Flitwick.
Oh, yeah. I was like, that's so true. I was like, wait, no, it's not. However, until further notice, the Commentors from Azkaban will be circling around the school, making sure we're all safe. This is very...
Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yes. Do not.
Except in Prisoner of Azkaban, they have the scene on the train where they see the
that's true.
Dementors for the first time.
Damn.
It didn't happen because the narrator listed all the things that happened on the train.
And we saw the Commentors as the readers.
That's true. We did.
Do not approach the Commentors, especially the boys. I know you may be tempted if you've heard of them. In another news, after the tragic death of Professor Lavender Brown, who I did go to school with, and I think Ron may have gotten lucky with at one point, I am pleased to announce that Professor Hagrid will be your new divination professor in this year. Make some noise for Hagrid, y'all!
Okay, so within the 5 minutes since Professor Lavender Brown died, which Harry wasn't even
5 minutes? It's going to be 30 seconds ago, you know?
Which Harry wasn't even in the room when it happened.
Yeah.
He's just he's seen it out of the corner of his eye. He's like, I
better address that.
I need a solution for this, and he acts like it's been his plan all along.
That is good. Just move ahead with the solution. Don't deal with the consequences.
Yeah.
Hagrid looked stunned because there was absolutely no way that Professor Potter could have consulted with him on this within the 5 minutes that Lavender had died. You're right. Yeah. He pointed at himself. Then Harry nodded. And Hagrid smiled like he was a kid doing a wee in a pool. I guess.
Yeah. I feel like when kids wee in the pool, they're trying to look like they're just having a good time.
Yeah.
So they're just like standing still.
Yeah,
and too happy about
that's the
it.
giveaway. They're still. Yeah.
If you want to pee in a pool, you've got to be doing it on the move.
Stay on the move.
Which is an unnatural way to pee.
It is.
We're not used to that.
But
our bodies freeze up. It's like, why are we moving and peeing?
if you're committed to the stealth, the stealth
And
wee,
it has to be stealthy.
you must be on the move.
You must be on the move.
Never stationary.
Like Victoria, on the move. For those not in Victoria, our state, the license plates on cars used to say Victoria on the move. Does it still say that?
Yeah. On some of them.
On some of them,
We've got a few different ones.
Victoria on the move, Victoria,
The place to be.
the place to be, and then Victoria,
Garden
the
State?
Garden State.
And that's what I call jazz.
Wow.
Of course, last year, Hagrid was taking defense against the dark arts.
That's right. We had
Was
one
he?
class
Oh,
with
yeah.
him. Yeah.
But I'm pleased to...
You're like, was he?
Yeah.
I actually think you were away for that chapter.
Oh.
It was Adam and Simon who did that chapter.
Wow, that book went for ages.
Yeah.
It was so long ago you had Adam and Simon on.
Yeah.
But I am pleased to announce that my dear friend, possibly my favourite colleague, and my dear, dear friend, who I've never had any issues with and do not have a dartboard in my office with his face in it, Cheeseman Damo, will be your new DADA/F teacher this year.
Wow. He's been given a promotion.
Give it up for Professor Damo, everyone. Yay, Professor Damo,
Professor
said Harry.
Damo.
I don't like that
Why?
because I don't think your HR person can
be
be
a
an
teacher.
employee.
Yeah.
Like it can be
Like you couldn't go to HR with a complaint about Professor Damo's class.
Although,
Fucking
riddle me this. A company which I've worked for.
Have I worked for them?
No.
Okay.
It's not in the entertainment industry.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
What industry is it in?
It's in the retail and
okay, I know what it is.
Oh my God. It makes no fucking sense, but there were so many pay issues in the start of COVID, and even now I haven't worked for them for over a year. They were meant to back pay. Anyway, whatever.
They owe you money.
They owe me money. Anyway, this whole time, the payroll person is also the HR person.
That's not okay.
And the payroll person is the one fucking up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, this isn't good enough. And
I'm going to go to HR.
This is basically wage theft. I had to say this so many times over the years I was there. And I'd be like, hey, can you sort this out? No, you're being rude. I'm like,
What?
No, it doesn't matter if I'm being rude.
They said you're being rude.
There's some emails that, anyway. Like, you can't say someone's rude to you so they don't
So
deserve
we're not
to get
paying
back.
you.
We're not
We're not
paying
paying
you.
you.
No, you're too rude.
That's like what Harry said.
And I'm like,
you didn't leave when I got to the lectern. We're deducting it from your pay.
It's usually a bit like I had words with like the CEO or whatever.
Did you really?
Yeah, I was like,
Did you call the CEO?
because I had met them, but I was like, what the fuck is happening? Especially during COVID, we were the only location operating for a while through COVID
Yeah.
because we're the online section. So
Right.
we were making all the money for the company. So they were pretty focused on us. But I was like, we also haven't been paid in a month.
Crazy.
And we're poor.
That sucks.
So anyway, it does happen. It shouldn't happen. And I only thought of it because they still owe me money.
And it's happening here at Hogwarts.
Oh. Sorry, Mike. But
I thought you were
can
gonna
cut that out if you want.
No,
It's
that was
pretty
interesting.
boring.
But I thought you were going to say, like now I'm getting the feeling Cheeseman Damo might die because he's Defense Against the Dark Arts.
Totally.
But you went down a very
Yeah,
different
sorry.
route.
I just want a personal gripe, which literally affects me up until today. I haven't worked in over a year, but
Wow.
they're like, no, we sorted all that. I'm like, no, you didn't pay me. Anyway.
How
Wow,
much
this is
money
getting
do
really
they owe
personal.
you?
Well, I don't actually know.
Okay.
Because they deliberately, I think, classified us as the workers as a lower pay grade.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry that happened to you.
It's funny because I was like, it'll be really embarrassing if it's like $12. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't actually care, but
Yeah.
Speaking of not caring, you guys don't care about that story, so I'm going to get back to this. Professor Damon will be great. I can't wait for him to teach us, said Michael, smiling. And who's that teacher up there? Rob said, pointing at a teacher they hadn't seen before who had noticeable blonde hair and a pointed nose and a pale face. Great news! He must be the new potions teacher, which means Mr. Chargér definitely isn't back. Thank God, Michael said. God winked at him and said, anytime, G.
So he was there the whole time.
God.
Anytime, G.
Anytime, G. Bing. I imagine him just disappearing. Harry returned to the lectern and did a bit of air guitar. And then everyone was silent. And he yelled, silence!
I'm pretty sure that exact joke happened last book at this point as well. Didn't he? I think he was like,
Yeah.
silence!
Yeah.
Silence!
No one saying anything.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Now, I'm sure you are all wondering on one thing in particular. Yes, Mr. Winston Chargér. For 2 years in a row, Mr. Chargér was able to deceive not just me, but the ministry as well. Boxley Washington has told me that no matter I do, Mr. Chargér cannot return to teach this year. And I wholly agree.
Don't think that's a word.
It's
Wholly?
you got to do wholly.
Or holistically.
No, but I think you can do because it's for the listeners. It's WHOLEY. I think WHOLELY.
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't look.
No, I think it's WHOLLY. Holy.
That to me. That says wholly.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe you're right.
Holy. I don't know. Could be anything.
We do have a computer and 2 phones at our.
Just type in. I reckon it's Is that it? No,
no.
that's not it. Is it that? I think it's that.
Oh wow!
Anyway,
Change it back because.
change it back.
It's not.
Oh, now you've deleted a whole
Oh.
line. Control Z.
Oh my god!
Control Z. Control Z. Control Z. There
Yep,
we go.
cool. Wow! I almost just deleted some of the book,
Line from the book. Yeah.
and we hadn't. Okay,
But we've got it. That's why we're doing the pod.
that's what I got. Yep. Just in
Never
case.
lose anything.
And never lose yourself. Eminem.
Said Eminem. No, he said
Holy fuck!
Eminem actually said you better lose yourself.
Yeah.
he didn't say don't lose yourself. He said you better.
Yeah,
do
lose
it.
yourself in the moment.
He almost threatens you. You better lose yourself in the moment.
Well, come at me, Eminem.
That
This
almost-
is an official challenge to Eminem.
That almost feels like you're in a nightclub and he's standing over you with his fist up to your face, being like, "You better lose yourself in the moment." And you're like, "I'm having fun.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't lost myself."
That's a good threat, though. Even if you just stop it, you better lose yourself.
Yeah. But it's like,
Like,
how
get
do you
lost.
prove that someone's losing themselves in the moment? It's like, I am losing myself. No, you're not. I can tell. I am. This is how I lose
Yeah,
myself.
I'm so in the moment
It's
that
so
I
subjective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Chargér is indeed a murderer, a criminal, and does not belong around students. Now, I want to remind you all that yes, Dean Thomas and I went to Hogwarts together, and yes, he was very adept at potions. He was one of the most skilled potion students at my time in Hogwarts. Ah, Dean, he could brew a potion like a tree in a highway. Doesn't make sense.
Is that like when you're on a highway, there's
there are
all
lots
these
of trees?
trees?
Yeah, like-
so you could brew lots of potions?
Sure. And yes, there are rumours that in 5th year, Dean and I had a gay experience behind the Quidditch pitch in which I gave him a blowy before a game. But they are categorically false. I never, ever gave any kind of sexual favours to Dean. Junior Principal.
Saying this.
And like the first year's like, who's Dean?
I haven't read the books.
Everyone starred ahead at Harry in belief.
Start ahead, yeah.
Stared ahead. What is he talking about? Rob asks. I think he's saying that Dean Thomas is our new potions professor. That's great, said Luke. Ah, damn. I was hoping for fuck stuff Ungorious, said Tom. His new book has some great illustrations and images in it.
And is that from in the last chapter where it said the bonus edition includes pictures of his erect penis?
Yes.
I really liked the book. Those are great
Tom.
images.
Okay. Yep. And so Harry went on. I want all of you to know we have searched the entire world for a new potions master to teach you the essentials of potion making, which, to me, is a simple waste of time because potions are stupid. We did a worldwide search. We did. Why is it such a... Why have you done a world... Yeah, anyway.
It's like a talent scout. We've done
Yeah.
a worldwide search, guys. We've scoured the world for the best talent.
Even though I don't even care.
I don't care. I think it's stupid.
We did a worldwide search, and I am beyond pleased to announce that we found your new potions master in a little town in France. Please make very welcome your new potions master, who I have on good authority has a larger than average penis and makes crazy good love if you treat him nicely. And thank you, Neville, for that information. Wink. ... Boys and girls of Hogwarts, whispered Hermione. Hogwarts, your new potions teacher, Monsieur Winstone Chargér. The doors.
I think it's Winstone.
Yeah, but
Winston? Like Winston Chargér.
okay, but then
Monsieur?
Okay, so the writer has put
Accented E's.
an accented E
But
at the end of Winston.
Winston Chargér.
I think that would be Winstone.
Okay, that's fine.
No, but
you
I
read
think
it how you read it.
I'm reading it how it should be. I think that you would have.
I
written
don't
it.
think I knew what those
Exactly.
signs meant.
That's what I know.
Yeah.
That. So you probably do think it was Winston,
Yeah.
but in actual fact,
It would be Winstone.
yeah.
Okay. But it's obviously Mr. Charger.
Sorry. Oh yeah. By the way, spoiler alert. We're pretty sure it's Mr. Charger at this point. The doors to the Great Hall opened once again, and again dressed in an identical outfit to Harry, except this time wearing a beret and a French mime-like outfit. That's what I guess.
So he's wearing an identical outfit, except it's a different outfit.
Except it's a different outfit. He's wearing a beret and a French mime. Okay, so exactly, yeah. Wearing roller skates was none other than Mr. Charger, the boy's worst enemy, dressed like a Frenchman. So he's dressed somehow as a disco, but dressed as a Frenchman in the same
A
sentence.
disco Frenchman.
French people can go to the disco. He had a fake mole stuck to the side of his face, red overalls, and a stripy blue and white shirt. Then how is he wearing the same thing as Harry?
It's not at all. It's
completely different.
He's wearing a different outfit.
But the scars on his face from where Michael attacked him in the first book told a different story. Monsieur Chargér was, undoubt, Mr. Charger. The basketball strippers returned as Mr. Charger entered. He roller skated his way up the hall as Can You Feel the Love Tonight from the Lion King play. Can you feel the love tonight?
Tonight.
It is where we are.
In perfect harmony. In Cool.
Anyway.
I don't know the words. To it.
Zero rehearsal.
Zero.
Okay, that was great. So the line, as they came for the last night from the Lion King played, and he did some spins and met Harry with a hug and 2 kisses on the cheek. Harry used a Vada Kedavra on one of the basketball strippers angrily, whispering, "I told you, you only come out for me, not him."
Just killed him.
the disguise of Mr. Charger went to the microphone. Bonjour, bonjour, je m'appelle Monsieur Chargér, and I'm here to teach you la potion. Je suis Winston Chargér. Je suis love Hogwarts.
Hogwarts.
Yeah, that's good. Harry whispered in his ear and smiled and sniggered, handing him a piece of paper. Oh, and Mr. Harry Potter has asked me to remind you all that... Mr. Charger unfolded the piece of paper and read, Derek is a disgrace to all wizards. There's an H at the start. Derek smiled. He liked to be thought of every once in a while. Relatable. Hagrid had a seizure, which actually caused an earthquake on Jupiter. Oh, that's the end of the chapter. Wow, so end of chapter.
Hey, Derek is a disgrace to all wizards. Hagrid just starts
having a seizure.
Fuck.
And then there's an earthquake on Jupiter.
That was fun. That was a fun chapter.
That was a fun chappy.
So Monsieur Chargér is back.
Yeah.
Under a guise. And the boys are in peril once again.
And I'm sure listeners will have noticed I usually struggle with the Winston Charger voice anyway, but now I'm doing Winston Charger voice, doing a French accent.
Yeah. Bonjour, bonjour. No, I can't do
it. That is acting.
And that's what I call jazz. Do you want to need to plug anything or?
Not really.
Normal plugs.
Normal plugs.
Instagram.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram.
At radio.mike on Insta, at Sam Garlep on Insta, at HPATB pod on Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah, but oh god, just thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming, man.
What an absolute pleasure.
Oh, thanks for coming, man.
And couldn't have done it without you.
Oh, thanks, man.
And yes, we.
Goodbye, amores. Hey.
And that's what I call jazz.
Jazz. Thanks, guys. Thank you for listening to today's episode of Harry Potter and the Boys. Remember, if you want to watch the episode, head to patreon.com/Harry Potter and the Boys. And if you want to listen to more of me right now, these dulcet tones, go and listen to 20th Century Boy right now. But anyway, we'll see you next week. Bye. This podcast was a Radio Mike original production. Head to radiomike.com.au to check out all our other content, stay up to date at radio.mike on Instagram, and get in touch, radiomikepod@gmail.com.